So welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video guys. And yeah, in today's video, we're going to discuss some important topics. And all of it are stated by Ken Wakui sensei. Basically, today we would have been talking about a new chapter review. But the series officially ended last week. So no new chapters from this week on. Ever since this series ended, we got so many new updates regarding this series. Like, every week new extra chapters are gonna come. And also the spin-off chapters will be released too. But most of the people are curious about whether there'll be new spin-off series about some other characters or not. Yeah, after reading Ken Wakui sensei's recent interview, I think it's possible that he is going for a spin-off series, which was released along with the final chapters. But the character he talked about was not quite fascinating according to me. I know, everyone has their own opinion. So you guys can decide on your own whether it's really worth it or not. Because considering all the characters that were introduced in Tokyo Revengers, everyone wants to know more of the backstory about their favorite characters. Like, I always wanted to know more about the Black Dragons gang and Shinichiro. But Ken Wakui sensei talked about the other characters that couldn't be properly explained in the main story. So today, we are gonna discuss his recent interview. So yeah, before we talk about that, as usual guys, I would kindly appreciate it if you can drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go into the video now. So Ken Wakui sensei had to talk about this spin-off series because of the questions that were asked to him, and I'm going to talk about it now. The interviewer asked him so many questions, which were really interesting. And also he gave some ideas about the future plans of this series. So if you guys want to know more, watch this video till the end. They asked this question to Ken Wakui sensei, who is the character you have a special attachment to. He said, it's definitely Takemichi. But don't think we will get spin-off about Takemichi character. Even though we don't know anything about his past. But he personally connects really well with Takemichi character. Because how much struggle he faced in his life, just like him. He said he had a lot of trouble designing his character. I think it's because of Takemichi's hairstyle. Sometimes, it's really hard to draw these complex designs. And we also saw Takemichi sporting so many hairstyles in the series. He also said when he got beat up and his hair got shaggy. That's when he said important lines. So I gave him the coolest hairstyle. I mean, I don't know exactly which scene he was talking about. There are so many scenes like this where Takemichi got beat up and his hair got messed up. Since he mentioned important lines, he talked about the scene where Takemichi confronted Kiyomoto, I guess. Also, this is where he talked about the spin-off series. Because he liked lot of character designs. One of them is Hitani brothers. But he couldn't made them appear in main story most of the time, even though he wanted to. So, Ken Wakui sensei said there are some characters he couldn't properly explained in his main story. But the two characters he mentioned in the interview was Sanzu and Hitani brothers. He also shared some hints about their story. Which is really interesting, I guess. So let's talk in more detail about this. We know that Sanzu started to play an important role only in the final arc. There were so many mysteries revolving around his character. Some people had theories about his craziness and obsession towards Mikey. But we know that he was like that since childhood and his intentions were never evil. But Ken Wakui sensei literally wanted to show more about his character and his backstory. Because he thought during the final battle, the focus was on one character's backstory and it wouldn't be good and people will not like it. When he talked about his story, he said there was actually a longer story behind Sanzu leaving Takomi, which he couldn't explain in the main story. If you guys remember, we got two character backstory before the final arc started. One is Sanzu and the other one is Hanma. After reading this interview, I think it would have been better if he focused on Sanzu instead of Hanma. Because Sanzu said he didn't like his family and also we know that he didn't like his own brother. That's why he said this to Mucho, he wanted a big brother like him. But still he killed him in the end for betraying Mikey. But actually before all this happened, why did he leave his house is still unknown to us. In Senju's backstory, he hated Takomi because of the way he behaved. He was blamed for everything, even though it wasn't his fault. So Ken Wakui-sensei said, Sanzu couldn't stand Takomi's scrappiness. But Takomi doesn't really show his scrappiness in the main story. And Sanzu is a crazy person according to me. So, honestly, it would have been better if they showed Akashi siblings' backstory more. Senju and Sanzu definitely are more interesting characters. Senju always wanted to say sorry to Sanzu. And the fight scene between them was so poorly executed. If they give us more depth, that would have been a great choice. But I think it is very possible that we will get a spin-off about the Akashi siblings or extra chapters about them. Since they both played some major role in the final arc. And what do you guys think about this? However, the next one is about the Hitani brothers. We saw some small backstory about them during the Tenjiku arc. The Roppongi High Maniac War. That led to Hitani Bros rising. He wanted to draw a full story about them. He said, Max Maniacs had a huge market in Roppongi, called the Rakyusei community with others, where they were involved in human trafficking, fraud, and various other activities. Ran was a low-ranking member of that community. But he cheated the executives out of their money. They were so angry that they came to him. But Hitani brothers fought them back. Then the Hitani brothers were no longer part of the team. In the original story, Izana only talked about how they defeated their gang president and vice president. But he didn't talk about why did they fought. Which was considered as a famous fight in Japan. So I don't think a spin-off about this topic would be that much attention-catching. I do think it would be great if they released extra chapters about it though. We all know that Tokyo Revengers special arc will be released next year at Roppongi. I'm not sure about this. It's also possible that it might be a Hitani Brothers spin-off series. So after this interview, I think if he wanted to add more stories to the manga. Why didn't he? Did the magazine or the manager not allow him to continue with the story? Or did he want to finish the manga soon? So I think we will get more info regarding this soon next year. Anyway, which spin-off do you guys want to see first? Let me know below. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe. And good luck to all.